What's going on, guys? Happy Horror Fest 2021. Got the best co-host ever back and ready. Station, my brother. Dude, felt like I took like a damn month off, bro. It was only...
Dude, 2 weeks feels like a long time, doesn't it?
It does, man. Yeah. It does. So I didn't get my books the last 2 weeks. And then I go to my shop. I was like, dude, it felt like 2 months. He's like, I think it was only like 2-3 weeks. And I was like, I swear it was longer. But, dude, good to be back. Fucking missed you, brother. I missed you big time.
I missed you too, Dylan, so much. I miss doing this. I love Dylan's Horror Show. And it's even the best time of the year because I know some people are like, what are you talking about? It's not Halloween. Bruh, yeah. For us, it's Halloween Eve all throughout September.
Yeah.
Horror Fest. I'm ready. We kicked it off last night with the Hellraiser franchise review. We're continuing on tonight with a little bit of lighter fare. But y'all, we got some bangers this year. Not a bad one out there, I don't think. Well, maybe the Joe Corallo poll winner. We'll see that was Satan's Little Helper won that one, so we'll see.
Really? I don't even know if I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it looks like a weird stretch, but it looks like it's going to be fun.
Well, hey, that's all that matters. But yeah, dude, I missed the community too, bro. TM always first up in here. Everyone, bro, miss you guys. You guys are the best. I know a couple people at Mary Death was like, dude, we gotta. Like, what's up with the show? But I plan to take a 1 week hiatus to get ready for Horror Fest. And then just shit didn't line up. So I was like, you know what, man? I had so much going on. I was like, I'll just take it because I needed it anyway. So it's good as hell to be back. Today, if you didn't see, we're reviewing freaking Tom Hanks's The Burbs. I'm hyped to talk about this one. You didn't get the slip with yours?
I didn't get the slip. No.
Really? I ordered this a few months ago. I got the slip.
I just got mine this week.
Did you? Yeah. I thought, yeah. I remember your message. Before we get into it though, I know I got a little horror news that we could talk about. I don't know if you got anything. Freaking Krampus. The movie that I don't know if you've seen it, but I love it. The guy didn't we review it? We reviewed
it on your channel last year for Christmas horror.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought so.
You blocked it out because you got offended because me and Jay Strick, we didn't really like it as much as you.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you. But they're doing like the naughty cut Scream Factory is, so but it's gonna be a 4K. At first, I was like, "Oh, I get rid of my regular," but you're not only gonna get the naughty cut. So, but I'm a huge fan of Brad Daughtry. I think it's Brad or Brian.
Michael
Daughtry. Okay,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of his, so I'm hype as hell for that. This post, I actually really would like to have this poster too.
I'm interested in checking out what the naughty cut is. You know, I think it's a shame that both versions won't be on there. You know, but.
It's a never before seen version of the movie. I'm guessing it's shit that it's like the director's cut, obviously, whatever they made him cut to keep, keep the MPA happy. So I'm definitely hyped to see what it is because I love that movie. I just love that Christmas movie, man. Christmas horror movie.
You know what would make that movie better for me?
What?
Tits and blood.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe that's what's in there. I don't know.
Yeah. It looks like Salem's Lot returns to life with James Wan produced movie starring Lewis Pullman. So it looks like they're gonna do a freaking Salem's Lot, which
third time's a charm, bruh. Let's do it.
Yeah, bro, I'm hyped for that. That'll be sick. And everything horror seems to be getting, bro. Like
because it's horror fest time, bruh.
It's getting like a digital release though, or it's going to like Netflix, HBO Max, like Malignant is going to HBO Max, which I'm cool with that. But it's like their new Paranormal Activity is going to Paramount Plus this Halloween season, which that's cool. I mean, if some stuff is going to, these apps during Halloween, I'm cool with that because I'm not going to be able to go see them all in the theaters,
Well, and that, things have changed with the way that people consume their movies, especially with the pandemic and the Delta variant and all that stuff right now, right? Like, if Disney can't get people, like if Disney and DC can't go get people to see Black Widow and Suicide Squad in theaters in the masses that they were before,
right?
Little horror movies ain't got no chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It feels like today, that's the new standard of like straight to VHS or straight to DVD. Now straight to, Netflix platform or, streaming service platform. But also Netflix just picked up the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is another, this is a total game changer what they're doing. You've never heard of anything like this. It's going to be a direct sequel to the original.
What? Are you serious?
Dude, game changer.
Dude, I thought so, man. I mean, here's what's crazy is it reminds me of this. I just recently watched a film that was based on a classic franchise somewhat, and it ignored all the sequels, and it was a direct sequel to the first one. So it sounds kind of similar. That was Candyman.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that's what they were going for with that. I wasn't sure.
You're right, though. It's a new, fresh idea on a classic.
Speaking of that, did you see it? I saw it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Funny thing about that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the description for the movie on IMDb says another sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another sequel. They know they're already like doing too much. Did you like Candyman though? I was in the middle with it, to be honest.
I do like it. I'm liking it less the longer it's lingered. Tomorrow night on Rockin' Robbie Live, I'm going to be doing a review on it. But
nice.
My first initial reaction was solid movie, rushed third act, and I gave it 4 digs. I might move that. The movie is so solid for an hour.
Yeah.
And then that last 20 minutes, just like they're just like somebody was like, "Oh shit, we got to end the movie."
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. And I really loved the first hour of it.
I did too.
And I did get excited with what we saw at the very, very end. But that last act really just comes out of fucking nowhere, bro.
I know. What I saw my buddy Christian Hanna Horror, he how he referenced it, he was like, the only way I could do it, think how to without spoiling, he's like, it's like Sartan in the Halloween remake, where it's just totally left field. Like, where the fuck did this come from? Remember with the doctor, how he's like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Does that that's a good analogy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, and the other thing is it's not subtle with its messaging.
Yeah,
which I don't think it's overly done until that last act.
Mm-hmm.
I
was fine. I was like,
the first hour of it's so fucking good, bro. It's so crazy how good it is, and then how it just kind of what happened?
Yeah, I liked how when he got bit by the bee, he started his skin started looking like a goddamn beehive. I thought that was actually a cool thing.
I kept I was watching the movie with Jay Strick and Jamie, and I just kept being like, why is this fool not gone to the fucking doctor yet?
I know, right? That looks serious. That infection.
Super serious, bro. It's he's fucking Two-Faced by the end of it. Jesus.
Seriously. It was I had fun with it. I wish that it didn't have as like because when I went, there's just so many people laughing in the theater, and I was like, the first one is so serious. There's no levity like that, which I kind of liked in a way where it was kind of a little lighter, but in a way I was like, it felt like they didn't just take it 100% serious. That third act just is so weird. Like it feels like they cut maybe like they cut 15 minutes, and they were just like, I think we fucked the whole ending up by cutting something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's some big scene that we're like missing. You know
There's
what I
something
mean?
we're missing because there's some weird things that are developed with the main female in the movie, the main woman,
Yeah, yeah,
Brianna,
with her dad.
Brianna,
Yeah, with her
with her
dad.
dad, and they don't go anywhere with that, and then
Nowhere.
it just reaches this conclusion, and you're like, oh, this dude, and I do not like that. Like all of a sudden he's like, there's the real bad guy, and then he basically explains it all yet again, and then I don't know, for a movie that did that used exposition in a very interesting way with the shadow puppet show, right? Like of explaining the original story, and it did a great job with that. I love its very direct connection to that original movie. I rewatched the first one the night before we went and saw the new one, and that movie really holds up, right? And this one, the first hour of it did such a great job, and I've been critical of films in general being overly long lately. Horror movies can get really affected by it, but I'm not saying that every movie needs to be short.
Right.
Every movie needs to be exactly as long as it needs to be.
Exactly.
And Candyman needed some more time and some rethinking in its third act.
Yeah, definitely, because it was nice. Like even with the little bit of comedy, even like the overlaying, like message, which I thought I was like, they are gonna beat the hell out of it with that. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't. I thought it was pretty good, and then they really forced it at the end, and I was just like, But
I mean, I get it though. I understand. I understand.
I look forward to the rewatch.
The first one was a movie about racism and gentrification.
Exactly. So you got to.
But they didn't feel the need to tell you that that's what it was about. Movies didn't used to always feel the need to tell you what the message was. Like it makes it almost feel as cheesy as when you get to the end of a Masters of the Universe or a G.I. Joe cartoon from the 80s, and they make sure that you know the lesson you're supposed to learn. Not that Candyman, the original Candyman, was not subtle in its messages, right? But like you were led to understand and things instead of being told this is the lesson of the movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something a little different too, where there's like multiple Candymen, which in a way it works because of what happens to Helen at the end of the first. Yeah. So in a way that kind of does make sense.
I like that concept. I really do.
But I like though that deep like that Tony is the original. Like he was the first one, and it kind of happened like every generation had their own, because I even thought the real, like the guy who was actually giving candy out, living in the wall, that was actually pretty creepy. He just had that creepy look too, especially after getting beat the fuck up and shit.
Oh yeah,
I had enjoyed it. I think the Nia DaCosta, I think is or Nia Costa, whatever it is, she actually has, I think she has a real good eye with the camera.
Oh, it was
beautiful. It was beautiful.
The way it opens with like a mirrored shot of the skyline at a weird angle, and the music. I was like, this is going to be something good, and it was building and building and building, and then it just went, oh shit, the end of the movie's here, boom.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Seriously. The one last thing about her is I guess she's going to be directing the Captain Marvel sequel. So look, if Marvel's seeing something in her, so you know what I'm saying? It definitely worth a shot to watch just for see how she is as a director, because I think she did a great job.
She's got a good eye. She's got a good vision.
It's not Jordan Peele's movie at all. He had like a little hand in writing, I believe, and he produced it. So, yeah, dude. The credit goes to Nia DaCosta, but I'd like to see who was the one why the fucking third act ended the way it was. you know, because that was I really hope we could get like a director's cut or something, you know, because I think that could really help it. Um, but yeah, I do really look forward to watching it on the rewatch and like watching 1 and 2 back to back, you know, or one and that now. Because I actually was always a fan of Farewell to the Flesh, the second one. The
Yeah,
third, it was pretty stupid. The third, it wasn't. I've seen worse,
the
but
third is stupid, but I still want a Scream Factory Blu-ray.
yeah, I don't even own it on DVD. I've been holding out to hope they do it. But yeah, it's definitely worth the watch. I look forward to see what you rate it. Um, is there anything else you want to mention about it before I get it? I got one. I think I got like two more things for news, and then we'll
Well, the
get
only other thing I'd say is *Malignant's* about to come out, right?
yeah
So there's another horror film that is going to hit the
next
theaters.
next week, right?
Yeah, next week, right? So that's cool. Noctera, which is the kind of like it's like almost a pitch blacky type thing
Mhm.
that Scott Snyder and Tony Daniel does. They have finalized a television deal
Yeah.
that
Oh,
has a little bit of
television.
a what's that?
Television. Oh, okay.
Yeah, television. It's got a little bit of a horror vibe to it with monsters and shit, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
that's pretty much all I got, I think,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
week. But go ahead and get your pre-orders in for the Elvira's Haunted Hills because that comes out this month. So
Yeah, dude. Did you hear? Because I pre-ordered the five. I'm like debating if I because they're cheaper on Amazon, but you don't get the poster obviously. And I was like, do I really need all of them? I kind of want to get one of the like Halloween 3 poster or Halloween 1 for the 4Ks and Halloween 5. Like all of them, none of them have too much. Like they all got 4K transfers and all that, and it looks like it's gonna be amazing. And but Halloween 5 is getting like the this footage that was cut that people have been talking about forever. Scream Factory found it. I don't know if you heard about it,
I
where
did.
it's like a totally different like intro. It's not like that old white guy who finds him. It's like it's this Dr. Voodoo. I forget what they call him. Something, but he's some like guy, and he's the one that they show him giving the thorn tattoo to Michael, so it kind of connects the thorn stuff a little bit better. So I'm really excited to see that. I just can't wait for these freaking movies to come out on 4K. That's going to be incredible.
The
And
only thing the
perfect
only
time to review them too, you know, so I can watch them fresh.
exactly the only thing for me is I really don't like the new artwork on the covers.
That's all, like Halloween 3, I like the best.
Yeah, me too.
I don't. That's why I was like, I don't really need the posters. I would have ended up selling them to be honest. But I would have liked to have one just because I fucking love Michael Myers. But that Halloween 3 one is like the big one. I feel like I want because that's the best artwork. I honestly like the Halloween 5 artwork the best out of all the Michael Myers artwork movies. You know what I mean? Um, but Creep Show, the Shutter original, the TV series, is getting a season 3 coming out September 23rd. Um, I can't wait for that. I just love that show. Period. Uh, Netflix announces horror anthology series Cabinet of Curiosities from Guillermo del Toro. So that should be fun.
That's right.
Um,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. That sounds interesting.
yeah.
I guarantee it's some episode, maybe even in the opening of the show, we will see gears and a fetus.
Yeah. Gears and a fetus. Um, that would be something. Let's see.
Every Del Toro film has gears and a fetus.
Does it?
Yeah, pretty much. You can find them. Just look for it. Next time you watch any of them, even Hellboy,
Yeah.
you got Cronin, and he remade them with all the gears inside of them, right?
Uh-huh.
Right, and then in like Professor Broom's thing, there's like a fetus in a jar or some shit like that. Like in every one of his movies, man, there's a
Yeah.
gear and there's a fetus. I don't know what it is, but it's
Okay. This is a little bit, this is like horror a little bit, but comic book too. Venom Let There Be Carnage has been officially rated PG-13. Like, what the fuck is up with that, though, bro? Give me the R rating, bro. I thought that that's what we were finally going to get with this one, too. Like, they did that same thing last with the first one, where they were, like, making it seem like we were going to get the R rating. And I feel like they played it up even more with this because of Carnage and shit and Andy Serkis. Like, it's like, dude, you did it again. It's like, come on, like, fucking Deadpool made bank, bro. Like, let's make this happen. Like people are gonna be pissed about that. Like they want that carnage. You know what I'm saying? I know PG-13.
Here's the thing. Honestly, I don't care if it's PG-13 or R because I am fairly confident that I'm not going to like this movie.
Well, I didn't really like the first one.
I hate the first one.
I was really hoping that this one with Andy Serkis that we were gonna get like something different, but
the trailers don't show me that though. The trailers show me that it's going to be goofy and I don't like the way Carnage looks. I don't know.
I don't either.
Something's still off. It's the tentacles. They didn't get it right. I knew that would be a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
you know,
but we'll see if maybe the CGI looks better. You know, because in the trailer, it's not even finished 100%. We'll see, but I didn't really like. I don't know. I have a feeling. I have the same feeling you do, to be honest.
One thing I did like in the trailer though is when he first sees Carnage and the symbiote just goes, "Oh shit, it's a red one."
Yeah, right. What does that mean?
But like, I don't want Venom's never been like Venom has been goofy, but that's because it was a product of its time.
Yeah,
and I guess I have always read the symbiote's dialogue differently. Like when he says things like, "I want to eat your brains," I always in my head heard it like, "I want to eat your brains." More creepy, right? Yeah, and not so much like, "I want to eat your brains." You know, like that's like, I don't know. It's it's so fucking goofy. These
I know, man. I know. Last thing I got, James Wan says Aquaman 2 is heavily inspired by the horror movie Planet of the Vampires. That's a little horror comic related, but that I love James Wan, so I'm super hyped for that. So
I love Planet of the Vampires. That's like a
I don't know if I've seen it.
I want to say that is an Italian film.
Is it?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but I saw that movie like 20 years ago or something, or some late 90s, early oddies for the first time on AMC's Monster Fest that they did.
Yeah.
And I just recorded everything, right? And I just watched them on these. I had to kept these VHS recordings. Yeah. And Planet of the Vampires.
Mario Bava did it.
Yeah, Mario Bava. Yeah, that's fucking amazing. I love that movie.
Wow.
That's actually a really cool idea, bro. Yeah. Italian sci-fi horror. Yeah. It leans into sci-fi. I forgot it was a Bava film. Bruh, yeah. That movie's good.
Really? I gotta check that out. I never heard of it. Yeah, dude, I love James Wan, so I'm super hyped for that. That's gonna be sick. Super pumped for Malignant next week. And Aquaman 2, that should be dope. We'll probably be getting a trailer in October with that DC fandom. So I think that's what I got.
If it's heavily influenced by Planet of the Vampires, I bet that it leans more into the trench.
Oh yeah, there was a picture of the trench on that thing I was looking at. The show said that, so that would make sense. Which that shit was creepy as hell. So that would be awesome, dude. Yeah. So that's all I got. Did you have anything?
Now, one more thing, one final caveat, I guess. We started Horrorfest last night with the Hellraiser franchise review. I woke up this morning. The first comment I had was from someone saying the J-Strick was a potato. And so now, obviously, that has become a bit. And we're really, really, really excited. And J-Strick even messaged me today. He goes, "Someone's called me a potato." And so just wanted everybody to go ahead and get ready for the J potato bit.
Oh, I'm ready.
Mike's buying him a potato head toy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm going to send him a actual potato.
Hey, okay, buddy.
Yeah. You want to cook? You want me to cook it?
Wow. It'll be an A-okay.
Yeah, A-okay. That's funny. Yeah, so let's get into the Burbs, man. Let's get into it. Let's see, when did this movie come out?
89, buddy.
89. Wow, right before the 90s.
I was in third grade.
Where are you? Do you remember this?
I remember it vividly. I loved it. I never saw it in the theater, but I did. It was a constant rental.
Yeah. Constant rental. God, yeah. This was when because it's PG-13 or PG maybe even. Yeah, PG. This was one, dude, I heavily watched big time. Like, I fucking love this movie. It's so good. The cool thing about this Scream Factory or Shout Factory, because it's actually Shout, not Scream, or Shout Select, It has a 2017 2K scan of the inner positive, but it has a freaking documentary, There Goes the Neighborhood, The Making of the Burbs, which has interviews with Joe Dante, Corey Feldman, Courtney Gaines, and Wendy Shaw, and some other ones. Not Tom Hanks, sadly, but it has the original work print that includes deleted and extended scenes. So it's got like the dark. It looks kind of like a VHS, cut, but it's still cool to see, and it's like the darker version. So that's just cool to have as a huge fan of this. I don't know if you got to watch that since you just watched this. I'm sure you probably threw it on for a little bit since you said you know how it looks. But
well, I know what work prints look like. So
well, okay, gotcha.
No, I didn't get a chance to check out any of the special features yet. I wanted to watch that documentary. Is Joe Dante interviewed in the documentary?
Yes, yeah.
Nice,
yep.
Nice. I'm a huge Joe Dante fan.
Oh, me too. Dude.
And I liked this movie before I realized that. Now, of course, in the late 80s, in 89 especially, that was the year of Tom Hanks, man.
Yeah.
And he was hitting such a point.
Big.
Yeah, and me being such a horror fan, but also loving comedies, this was instantaneously one of my favorite movies. And it is an underappreciated film.
Yeah.
It's not something that did very well. It has garnered a cult following, but it was not known as a success in those early days.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's just a fantastic film. It's one of the first like straight up like kind of dark comedies. I feel like that just really gained such a huge following, and it's just from Tom Hanks. Like Tom Hanks has never been in a horror movie or anything like that, but this is the closest I guess he's ever come to it, and I think he just makes this film. It's on that. It's the movie set is like a little cul-de-sac where they did like the Leave It to Beaver house. I forget what they call it. It's one of the most famous like blocks on the Universal lot.
Yeah, that's the Peterson's house is the is that Leave It to Beaver house.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm thinking of something else, but Corey Feldman's house across the street, they brought in it's the Munsters house.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was wild. And yeah, it's all on the Universal back lot. And so they would have to deal with like tour buses coming in. They'd have to like stop production because they were coming in to see the Beaver House.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah, I remember that. They're just mid shooting and they're like, screaming, "Hey, this is the Munsters house." Oh my god, how annoying would that have been? But this movie has so many great things going for it. I don't have the freaking stuff pulled up, but the actor who plays like the vet is one of my absolute favorites, dude.
Bruce Dern. Yeah.
Bruce Dern. I was trying to think of his name because he's young in this, man. He's so old nowadays, but
I thought he was old then, bro.
Right. But he is just freaking fabulous in this. I love him. When Tom Hanks is just like laughing, he's like, Broomstein's dog just took a dump on Walter's lawn again. She's like, "Oh my god, is this what you're gonna be doing with your week off?" And he's like, "If I want to, if I'm taking a vacation, I want to sit, walk around in my pajamas." He's like, "That's what I want to do." I love it. But Bruce Dern is just freaking hilarious. And you got the late great Carrie Fisher playing Tom Hanks' wife, and she looks good in this,
And it's also an early Image Entertainment, not Image, but Imagine Entertainment movie, which is Ron Howard's production company.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of got that Spielberg vibe, right? But it's not, and it's that vision of Joe Dante. Joe Dante, you can tell, is heavily inspired by old monster and horror films and Looney Tunes, right? Yeah. And there's lots of little gags in here, lots of little fun bits. You're right. Bruce Dern is amazing in this movie, and the cat whoever it is that plays Tom Hanks's next door neighbor, Ray's next door neighbor.
Yeah,
he's great. And Corey Feldman, random. I don't even understand what Corey Feldman's character is. Like, does he own that house? Like, does he live there? Like, how old is he? They're drinking beers. Like, I'm so confused by how old Corey Feldman is, and like, do you live here in the suburbs? But the dark comedy was something that was starting to rise up a little bit more, I guess, in the 80s, not to a lot of success, right? But you had things like Heathers, you had things like what's the the vampire one, like Once Bitten or whatever, or My Best
Yeah.
Friend's a Vampire. You had those things, Station Bueller. You had those things,
Yeah.
right? But this one actually was saying something deeper than just trying to be a fun, twisted version of a horror film.
Right.
It was saying something about suburban life, about boredom in American culture, right?
Yeah.
Like this dude is on vacation and his wife's trying to get him to go somewhere else and he just wants to have a staycation, right? And I feel the same way. I'm like, why do we got to go do something? Like, I just want to chill.
I gotta go drive 2 hours there, live in some stinky cabin, and act like I'm having fun fishing and doing all this when I just want to stay at home.
The fun bit, the interesting bit is that Tom Hanks came to Joe Dante at some point and said, what's the mystery here? Why? Because it felt like in the script that Ray was hiding something from his wife. Mm-hmm. Was he really hiding the reason why he wanted to stay there? And Joe looked at him and said, well, we don't have a reason, but what if it's because he got fired and he doesn't want to tell her?
Yeah.
So you think about the movie in that way, and it adds to his level of anxiety and why he's so stressed out, right?
Yeah, that was something I'd never really picked up on, like as a kid. But I got older, I was like, wow, and it adds definitely another layer to it, and makes you see why he is doing what he's doing and acting the way he is. His neighbor Art is played by Rick DeConham or something. DeConham, he's fantastic as well. Though Tom Hanks obviously is, the main face, but Bruce Dern, the guy who plays Art, is just incredible. Like without those two, the movie is not as big of a cult hit. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? They're just perfect, Like now I feel like everyone's like, oh, it's Tom Hanks, because everyone loves Tom Hanks. So if they see this and they're like, I've never seen this, and they'll be surprised as hell, like he did a movie like this, he was just coming off of Big after this, and he was just that that comedic guy, and he went a little dark with this one, and
that's why they changed the ending, because in the original ending he dies.
Darker.
They're like, we can't kill Tom Hanks in this movie.
Yeah,
they like, we can't do that, man.
Seriously.
The movie's great, man, and the way it works, Tom Hanks centers the performance. Like, you understand exactly what's going on, even if you don't pick up on the little nuance, right? That they had this information that like he had lost his job, and that's what he's trying to hide from his wife, and his obsession. And I have known people who have lived in the suburbs, had jobs they didn't like, and they just fucking are so bored, and it's like their neighborhood becomes this whole like microcosm that becomes their fascination. Like looking out the windows and talking about all the neighbors and having these weird like alliances and shit like this. And it's all in this cul-de-sac, right? I never grew up in the suburbs, but I had a lot of friends that lived in the suburbs, right? So like I've seen this stuff, and I've seen it now as in my adult life with people, my friends that have this kind of life, right? And it's very true, and it's saying something. It's almost akin to something like what American Beauty's trying to say about American suburban culture, right? Or it's almost like the middle-aged version of Richard Linklater's Suburbia as well, with what it's actually trying to say. But it does it in a very charming and an incredibly funny way. And one of the reasons why is because of Tom Hanks. And we know him now as this dramatic actor. We are well far removed from Philadelphia and Forrest Gump at this point. He is a comedic actor.
Oh my God.
And he is hilarious in this movie.
That's my he's great as a dramatic actor, but he's my favorite as a comedic actor. I mean, I went to go see Big at the drive-in a few years back, like he's just, back when he was younger and doing, stuff in the late 80s and early 90s, those are some of my favorite movies.
The Money Pit, Joe versus the Volcano.
He's great, man. He's just fantastic.
Splash.
Oh, I don't know if I don't know if I've seen that in forever, honestly. Yeah, I know. I remember watching that with my mom. Now you say that, but I haven't seen that one probably since I was like freaking super young little boy. I'll have to check the Splash out again. Yeah, dude, this is probably my favorite one though, to be honest, out of all those. Like, I adore this film. Um, and then you get that mystery with these crazy neighbors, that everyone's just like, they never come outside, they never come to cut their grass and stuff. And they're like, well, the other neighbors, they kept to themselves too. They're like, yeah, but they at least, went outside during the day and cut the grass or kept up with their, garden. These guys, they just don't, come out. They're like fucking, what are they, like vampires or something?
Yeah, the Klopex, right?
Yeah.
And I love the opening scene where he's like hearing the noise, seeing the lights, their yard, because this is in the neighborhood I live at right now, so I'm in this apartment, but like in the neighborhood, it's a little bit like parts of that neighborhood, they're like those people that like take care of their lawns and shit. They have this like yard of the month award, and I'm always every time we're driving through the neighborhood, I'm like, who's got the yard of the month? And I love how like they all take so much care of their lawn. They're talking about it, and they're just like dead trees, no grass, it's dirt. They're like in the middle of all of it, it's obviously like this haunted ass house, right? Or something. And when he first goes over there, as soon as he walks over the property line, like the wind picks up and he like steps back and he goes, and it's just, I freaking love it, man. It's just always appealed to me, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, once you figure out that Joe Dante, because obviously I never knew Joe Dante had anything to do with it either. And then once I found out, I was like, that's why it works just so good. Because of his, horror background, man. Like Joe Dante was actually very, like multi-talented, where a lot of people know him obviously for just the horror, but he's done, some comedic stuff. What was that? I think he did that Rock and Roll High School. You know which one I'm talking about?
Did he do Rock and Roll High School?
I swear he did, because it's a Corman flick.
Maybe. I know his first big one was Piranha. And then Piranha into Howling, and then you got the Gremlins gig, and there's a cool little bit here. You'll miss it if you're not paying attention, but they have a Gremlins cereal box on the tape next to the table when they're having breakfast or whatever.
He did Rock and Roll High School.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize that.
Because he's uncredited.
Interesting.
I think it says that him and Alan Arkush directed it together.
Interesting.
And I guess he got screwed on the credit. But
well, the Directors Guild doesn't like giving two directors the same credit. In fact, you can only do it if you're related.
He also did the story as well.
Nice.
So yeah, he's done. And then he did Gremlins.
Yeah, he did the Matinee movie, right? But he also did Small Soldiers, and
I love Matinee. Oh, and Small Soldiers, yeah.
And he got to live out his Looney Tunes dream by directing Looney Tunes back in action, which is actually really good.
He has good comedic tones with him, and I think he merged these so perfect. Just it works out so well. It's definitely more comedic, especially after some of the cuts, because like we said, that it did have darker scenes and they cut some of them, but it still works perfect for me. I just really enjoy it so much. I love the cinematography on it. It just how it can go to those real dark kind of like Looney Tune atmosphere, it feels like, with the wind blowing, the leaves going everywhere, and just the music is also another fantastic score.
Jerry Goldsmith.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, the guy that did the Star Trek the motion picture soundtrack, the guy that did Alien, the guy that did The Omen. He did do Alien, right? Pretty sure.
Let's see.
I hope so. Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm doubting myself now, but I love Jerry Goldsmith.
What? He did Congo. I love that one.
Yeah. Congo was good.
It says he did Alien Covenant, so I think he did. So there's a few aliens on here. I'm sure he did it.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes, Patton, Chinatown, Gremlins, Poltergeist, Hoosiers, Total Recall, Air Force One, LA Confidential, The Mummy.
It says he did The Omen, I think, too.
Yeah, I told you that. The Omen, Alien, and Star Trek, the motion picture. Yeah. He came up with the real famous theme that everybody knows, the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, this guy has some major credits, like 256 credits. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a great, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy because I feel like this movie didn't get a lot of money to be made. I think the Tom Hanks part was probably the most they spent. Um, hey, good to see you, Cerebro. And we got Mark Brasington.
My two
Yeah.
favorite podcasters. Look at that. If only Jasmine was here, we'd have all three.
Hey, and Link. But yeah, you get a nice little cast here. Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher, Corey Feldman, Henry Gibson, who plays Dr. Klopek, and he's pretty, he's always really good. I always remember him in this Disney Plus or Disney Channel movie. It was like this Irish film, Luck of the Irish, I think it was called. And he plays like his uncle, like this kid that plays basketball, like fucking loses his skill from a leprechaun or some shit. It was I loved it as a kid. But who's the other?
You got the kid
brother,
from
brother.
Children of the Corn in here.
Dude, is that one of the young kid?
He's in Children of the Corn, but the redheaded dude or whatever.
Yeah. I was
He's
gonna
in
say
Children of the Corn.
the brother to Dr. Klopek is creepy as hell too, But yeah.
Yeah, Courtney Gaines. Yeah, he played Malachi. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Huh. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know he was Malachi. Yep, that's a good one. But tell me some other things that you love about this one, bro. Who's your favorite character, and then go into what you love about him.
My favorite character in the movie. Okay, so it might be Ray. I mean, that's cheating. It's Tom Hanks's character, but it's just a really good performance. I love Bruce Dern in the movie. I really, really like the neighbor, Corey Feldman. When I was a kid, I thought he was the coolest.
Oh yeah.
I like Carrie Fisher, but one that I really do want to highlight, and you're right, the Klopeks, all three of them, excellent in what they're doing. They do not look related.
No,
all three of them dudes look completely different, right?
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a favorite character, it's the dog. The dog causes so much more problems, right? The dog digs up the bone. The dog shits on the yard. The dog's there, and Walter's gone. The toupee's there, and that dog is the same poodle that the very next year was in Silence of the Lambs.
No way.
Yeah, same dog. So I'll go with the dog. So I'm going to steal the dog thunder from you. But I mean, they're all great characters. There's not a bad character in this movie. I love the wife of Bruce Dern. Like she's just like, and she's into Corey Feldman, bro. She's giving him the looks. You know what I'm saying? And like, I like it. And the other fun little thing is that there's a small appearance from a young Nicky Katt in this movie, known for his roles in tons of stuff, including Dazed and Confused. He's Cliff or Clint in Dazed and Confused, the guys that gets in the fight with the nerd. But he's one of Corey Feldman's friends. When Corey like brings all of his friends over to like watch all the shenanigans. Yeah. And he's the one who's like, bro, we're gonna go get some grub. And he's like, don't worry, I just ordered pizza. And he's like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, Corey Feldman, I love him, man. He's awesome. Fucking about to pull Mrs. Broomstein or whatever her name, Mrs. Rumsfeld.
It's Rumsfeld, which is funny.
Yeah, I love it. I just love all the army remarks that Bruce Dern makes throughout. It's just so good, man.
He's got his damn infrared fucking goggles and all that shit. He goes out there to like fucking raise his flag and all that shit in the morning. He's like what a fucking there's somebody like that in every cul-de-sac in the suburbs, man.
Right. Oh man. Gotta have that flag up.
They always got a hot wife.
Oh my god, dude, for the longest I thought that was like his daughter. I was like, that cannot be his wife. I like couldn't accept it for years, bro. I just couldn't, because I was like, she is too hot,
Yeah.
I love it.
Corey Feldman's gonna knock the dust off of that, don't worry.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's hard between Art and Mr. Rumsfeld, Mark Rumsfeld. I'd probably say Mark with Bruce Dern. would be my favorite, but I love both of them. They just give such a great comedic tone to this movie.
I love when he falls into the porch and all he's really pissed about is like, there go the goddamn brownies.
Yeah. Like,
I love the whole thing where they're trying to do the neighborly thing, you know, instead of, and like there's just, it's such a fucking, this movie is hilarious. I laughed out loud so many times rewatching it this week, man.
It's so good. When they're in the house too, and they're like, well, we might have to move again because we jump around a lot. And then Carrie Fisher's like, that's so sad. We were just getting to know you. And he's like, says who or whatever. He's like, ain't no one gonna be sad, you know. And they're like, what are you doing? He just speaks his mind. He don't give a shit about nothing.
Well, he like peels their paint off and shit.
Yeah.
What about Art when he like? I always loved this scene as a kid when he goes over there. He's like, "Y'all eating breakfast?" And he's just like fucking. He goes and gets the fucking leftover ribs and shit from the fridge.
Yeah. Oh my god! Almost shoots Tom Hanks the first he sees him, you know, with the gun. I would have been a little bit more pissed than Ray was, you know. Oh my god, that was something. I love though, like when he's just totally pushing Ray's buttons, like trying to get him, you know, to do whatever. He's like you just chickened out right in front of your son. He saw that. You chickened out right in front of your son. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
oh, we chickened out? All right, well, let's go do it right now. Let's go do it together. Let's go do it.
Oh, like, come on, man.
Those two actors, they work so well together. They're a really good pair.
You could see them like being buddies. It's like you feel like Ray, like deep down, maybe hates him, but he just loves him. You know, he's that buddy that you just can't get rid of. You know what I mean? It's so funny. I love it when he's talking, like he's saying, like Art is hanging out with Corey Feldman at this point. He's like, yeah, Ray, he sneaks over here. He thinks I don't know, but he sneaks over here just to come smoke a cigar because his wife gives him shit about it. He thinks I don't know. There's just so many great lines in it.
Nobody kills an old man in my neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He gets so twisted up, man. What about all the references though, man? So he's watching TV. You get to see, what is that movie? It's like Rights of the Devil or something. It's the one with they have to blur out the boobs. If you notice, they actually blur out the boobs.
I didn't know what that is. I always wondered what that was.
It's like Rights of the Devil or Rights of Past. It's something like that. And then, of course, there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and The Exorcist. And then they have the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre bit, which I love. And it's part 2 that they're showing, man.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised that they showed part 2. I always was. I was like, that's so awesome.
That's because Joe Dante and Tobe Hooper were friends.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Man. Masters of horror, both of them.
Imagine just growing up in that time like those guys, dude. Getting to be in that circle. If we could have been directors.
You don't get that anymore. Like the James Wan, the Adam Green, the Eli Roth. It doesn't feel like
doing like his own little thing, like with his Conjuring universe. I feel like he's got like people, because now he's bringing, and like from his Saw universe, because he's bringing Darren Lynn Bousman to come do a Conjuring film, you know, or not Conjuring, but a new spinoff. So I feel like in a way that it's not as deep or connected, but I feel like some of them like do try. Like James Wan, he feels like, you know, him and Lee Winnell do a lot of stuff together. It's not as big. Like Masters of Horror was like, you know, like these guys that were just killing shit by themselves, and then like they come together with this incredible.
They also worked together. Like Joe Dante and John Landis were on part of Twilight Zone, you know, and then Amazing Stories. You know, even before Masters of Horror, you know, Argento, fucking, you know, is the reason why there's more than one zombie film from George Romero, you know, and shit like that. So
I know, it's so crazy.
John Carpenter and all of them thrown in the mix. Don Coscarelli, and I mean, we have Masters of Horror now. Yeah. They don't feel. It doesn't feel like it did back then, but that could just also be hindsight. I mean, at the time, I'm sure it didn't seem like it was all like they were so connected. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Definitely.
It's a weird tangent that I went off on, but
yeah, you know, I love the tangents. But is there anything else you want to talk about for this?
I want to talk about my favorite scene in the film.
Okay, I know there's plenty. There's so much we can still talk.
I know it's one of my favorite scenes in the film, and it's something that sticks with me today. And in fact, I was at the store today and I forgot, because I was going to buy a bag of pretzels and I was going to buy a can of sardines, because
sardine.
That scene when Ray's wife looks at him, she's like, and he has to eat the sardine. Like, that is so fucking funny to me. And it's always, when I was a kid, I wanted it so bad. And my parents, I asked them, I begged them. I remember this very vividly one night. I was like, please get me some pretzels and sardines. And they brought back pretzels and salsa. And I remember that day eating it. And I would like mimic Tom Hanks, be like, but sardines and salsa are two completely different things, right?
Yeah.
But I still want to do it. And I intended on bringing the stuff today to do it, but I totally forgot.
That would have been so awesome to see you do that.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I'll tell you that.
I would have given you some major fucking props, bro. Because this kid I knew, bro, he like bought, like when we went to the store, he like got like a can of like hot sauce and sardines, and he just smashed them like bare hands, like finger licking good. I'm like, bro.
I'll tell you what. What if I do it next week for Fright Night 2?
Hey, that would be awesome.
It's not related to that movie, but
I know, but we'll do it in the beginning.
Hey, you do it with me? You gonna do it with me?
No.
Come on, bro.
I can't.
Do it with me. I don't want to do it either. I think sardines are the nastiest, grossest thing, man. But like, let's do it.
I ate sushi for the first time, and it wasn't even raw, and I barely could eat that.
Sushi's great, man. I love sushi. Let's do it. Come on, Dylan. Everybody in the chat, if you want to see Dylan eat sardines on a pretzel with me next week, do it. Do it. Come on, Dylan. You know what I've done on this channel? I've eaten hot ass shit. I've eaten fucking gross shit.
You got messed up.
One time.
Well, hey,
if you want to see it, just throw it out. Just be like, hell yeah, sardines, buddy, sardines. Let's do it, Dylan. Come on, bro.
I don't know. I'll see.
They sell them at the Circle K. Just go get them there. And
no, they only got Vienna sausages.
I like Vienna sausages.
I think those are at like, I forget. I think they're at like my Aldi's or something.
Aldi's nuts, man. That's where they're at. Aldi's nuts.
Sardines on the pretzel. Oh man, it's funny you say that, because there was shit that I would see too on like a movie or something, and I'd be like, I gotta try it, and it would always be so gross most of the time.
Let's just do it. Commit to the bit with me, Dylan. Come on, this is like show our devotion to Horror Fest and to the community here.
I'll see, man. I'm devoted, but I'm just telling you, that's a lot to ask. Sorry. Oh man, they're so gross.
We'll get anybody, like whoever joins us next week, because we're gonna start having more guests throughout Horror Fest. But let's see if they'll do it too. I bet I can get Brooks to do it.
Brooks would probably happily do it. What is next week?
Fright Night 2.
Night 2, yeah. Oh. You're trying to just get sick on Fright Night 2 so that you can bail halfway through the show.
No, I still have to watch the movie. I'm fine with it.
I'm just messing with you. I gotta find hopefully I got the first one, so I gotta watch that one. I don't have the first one anymore. Well, I was trying to.
But you have the second one.
I have the second one, but I had the first one on DVD on like a 4-pack, and I sold it because I was like, I'm gonna just get the Blu-ray. And for some reason, the Blu-ray went up in price, so I like waited. I still haven't got it. Or honestly, I think I own it like on digital, so I was like, I can wait like until it goes down. Or I was really hoping like Kino Lorber or Scream Factory would get it. It would be really cool if they could do like a Fright Night box set, to be honest, and just put the original two, because the one I have is like it's like a region-free Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't have two, so I'm gonna have to find out wherever it is. So
I bought it on an Amazon. That's probably what you're gonna have to do, to be honest, is buy that Blu-ray. I could send you the link for it.
Oh no, I'll get it.
You'll get it. It's I'm
not buying Fright Night 2.
You might love it though.
I have my ways, but look at all this love. People wanting to see us eat a sardine on a pretzel.
Sardines and a pretzel. Sardine. I love that. I quoted that all the time. Sardine. Oh,
I gotta go grab another beer, man.
All right. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know about all that sardine shit. That boy crazy for that. Y'all definitely catch me throwing up. But yeah, anyone down in the comments, you guys, I know you guys have had to see the Burbs. Tell me what y'all thought about it. Chamorro, my brother. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, man, I hope all y'all been good though. anybody that wants to come on, check out the Horror Fest channel or the Horror Fest poll. And if any of y'all want to come on one of the shows, bro, let me know. So I know I got Cerebro coming on for the last show, The Exorcist. And we would have had Steph and Mike tonight, but Steph had his son a little bit longer. And Mike didn't get to watch it. I gotta get some dope people for John Carpenter's Vampires, bro. Because Robbie hates it. So I gotta have somebody to, have my back up in there, bro. Yeah, honestly, bro, I love the sushi with like yum yum sauce, but it was like when I bite into the seaweed wrap and it just like gave it this like chewiness that I didn't like, but I honestly liked everything else. It was weird though. They were like big ass bites. Like my girl said that I could like there's this other sushi place and they make them smaller. I think I like that better if it's like not like such a big mouthful, Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty careful about what I put in my mouth. Hey, well, let me know tomorrow. Yeah, so what else do you like about this? I love when when they leave towards the end and they're like digging in the basement and he's like, "Yo, bro, I hit the gas line, run, run, run." It's like, dude, you idiot! Like, why did you? He's just totally like clueless in that moment. It's like he's just so focused on the mission.
Yeah,
and
they think they hit like some kind of casket or something, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh,
I love
man.
it. And then he's like, I love that bit too, where he's like, I just got blown up, and he like lays down. I just want to go to the hospital and rest.
All messed up eye patch and shit, or like the fucking bandage wrapped around his eye. Oh,
and then it turns out that they weren't just paranoid; they are murdering psychos at the house next door. So
seriously, yeah, it's crazy, man. I love it though. It is so fucking funny, bro. So funny.
So funny, and it has all of the aesthetics of a horror movie. It's got that music, it's got the atmosphere, but at the same time, it's a family movie. At least it was in my household. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, it may be too much for some people, but bruh, in the 80s and 90s, this was a household movie, bruh. Like it's a movie for the whole family. The only thing I hate about Shout Select is how they put the fucking title all the way at the bottom. That always bothers me. My Roadhouse is like that.
I know. Yeah, that's how they do the Shout Select. I don't like that either.
I hate it. And I hate that they're numbered. I don't like it when they number them because it's like 44 of what? Of this fucking, yeah.
I know. Yeah. The Shout Select is a little weird, but I don't mind. If they just took that off, I'd be fine. But I like them. I love Matinee. They have some pretty good stuff. But
yeah, Bill and Ted. They have the Bill and Ted Shout Select.
Oh yeah, that. Two Guns.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Too. Yeah, I don't have Buckaroo Banzai sadly, and that one's out of print. I'm bummed about that. Let's see though. There was what was I gonna say about something? Oh, the whole thing too about Walter being missing, the neighbor, and then it's like he just they're like, man, because they're like those old guys, they never leave the house without their hair. You know what I mean? Because they find the hair piece, and then they find the dog, and they're like, it doesn't make sense. And then of course comes back home the night all this they're like breaking into the place or whatever, and you find out that he had just like heart palpitations and was rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
And like he really didn't die, but they were. So then there's that where you're like, oh, they weren't bad. You know what I mean? They're Ray or his art is just getting in Ray's head. You know what I mean? And then and they really are.
And the military guy Rumsfeld too.
Yeah,
right? Because he's the one who's like, yeah, they never leave without their hair, and it's about just so you get the idea that Bruce Dern's character is like retired military.
Yeah.
Right. He was somewhere up there. He's retired military. He's you can tell he's up there because he's got a trophy wife, if that makes sense. Right. And then, and then you got Ray, who we realize subtly has lost his job. But what's Art's deal? Like, why is Art not at work this week? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's he doing? And his wife's on vacation or something. And I get the feeling like his wife just left him.
I get that feeling too. Yeah, to be honest.
That's why he's like all happy that, oh, y'all are eating. He's not just a slob trying to eat everybody's food. He's like probably like doesn't have any food at the house because without his wife, he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, that's what I always thought too. I was like, yo, your wife, something, something is like, where, like, he has no kids, nothing. He's just, all he's worried about is getting in Ray's ear. You know what I mean?
He's drinking beer with Corey Feldman at night, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
What is this guy's life, bro?
I know. Seriously.
He's the Carl. Like if this is Aqua Teen Hunger Force, he's Carl.
Yeah.
he's like the early version of Carl. Like everybody else moves out, and then in the Peterson house, this Meatwad and Master Shake and Frylock move in, and he's Carl all of a sudden.
Right. Station Chaos, my brother. Good to see you, dude. I'm trying to think if there's anything else before we get into the rating. I know.
Well, I want to know something. What do you think the movie's about? Because I went on a little bit I went on a little bit about what it's saying about suburban culture and boredom and American society and things like that, and what and distrust of something different and outside. What do you think the movie's about?
I mean, you usually hit it on the nail better than me. I feel like I'd say definitely, about boredom and what how it can be like when when a lot of people say like, oh man, like I just wish I didn't have to work and shit and I could just stay at home and do nothing. And it's totally great, but a lot of times people get so bored that, you know what I mean, they're like, dude, I just want to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who can just sit at home and do nothing and be lazy as shit. And then there's some people who like they want to get out and they're like, you know what, I want to do something productive today. I don't want to just sit in the house all day. That's fine every once in a while or something. But and then I feel like once he's lost his job, he feels like I have nothing to do. He's like, so I'm gonna put my all. I have nothing to put my like time into, and he's depressed, so he doesn't want to like put on that fake smile and go like on vacation with his family. He just wants to kind of sit at home and just kind of goof off with art, because you kind of get that feeling that art can kind of bring him out of his shell a little bit. I feel like Ray is a little bit more timid, and then he kind of opens up a little bit more with art, and he's able to go a little bit crazier. And Art knows how to push his buttons.
Yeah, another great scene is when Art and Rumsfeld come to get him to like conspire with them, and his wife is like, no, he's not feeling well. He can't. He's like, come on, can he please come out to play? And they're like kicking rocks and shit. Like,
I know.
It also says something about the idea that grown ass men are still just fucking boys.
Right. That's another. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. Yeah, Jordan's like, they bond like kids would, definitely. And then it's funny because like Art is literally hanging out with Corey Feldman like late at night. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I was like, that's where it's like, okay, Art, what the hell are you doing, dude? But it's just hilarious. And I guess Corey Feldman's parents are out of town or whatever, and it's like, hey, maybe Corey Feldman killed his parents.
Or like, what's going on there?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be funny.
He's like always painting. Like, is that even his house or a house that he is hired to paint?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Like the people who own the house are out of town and he's just painting it and staying in there.
But he knows these people so in depth. He's from that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's so weird, man.
Yeah.
I just get the feeling that like that's his house. He's like probably like 21, 22. Maybe 20, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
He's young, but like do they mention something about his parents at one point in the movie or something? But like just not in the beginning of the movie, he's hanging out with Tom Hanks's kid. Then he's hanging out with a grown-ass man drinking beers. Nobody's looking at him. Like you're right. There's some dark shit that's nuanced, I think. So Tom Hanks lost his job, Art's wife left him, and Corey Feldman probably offed his parents.
Yeah. Seriously, it's definitely some dark shit for real.
And you were talking about the boredom thing, and Verno saying this too. But like, there's some distinct Office Space vibes for me in this movie too.
Hey, don't do content and let's see it. Like you have to be like he is doing nothing Like he wants to just do nothing, and then he just focuses. So right now you're focusing so hard on the content, just like Ray was focusing so hard on trying to prove that the Klopeks were murderers, or like figure out what was wrong with them,
Well, remember, he just wanted to drink some beer and fix and put a garage door opener in.
Yeah.
That's me. When I go on vacation or I have time off, people are like, "Hey, what are you doing for the holiday? What are you doing for this?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna sit at home and do fucking nothing, bro.
Seriously, dude.
I'm just gonna watch YouTube, read some comics, look at some toys, make some bad purchases online."
Right. I don't know the box office for Shang-Chi slots, but I do want to go see that movie. I hear it's doing good.
Well, we'll know like Monday for sure. So I'm going tonight actually with Delaney and Brooks. Yeah.
I wanted to go, but I don't know. I was like, I had the show, so I was like, I don't know.
Well, me too, but we're going in an hour and a half, so we're an hour behind you. So it's a 9 o'clock show for us. Which I'm in danger of falling asleep, bro. If I go to a movie after 9, I fall asleep.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna try not to though, man.
Hey, well, good luck. I hear it's so good that you probably won't.
I hear it's good. I hear really it's I've heard it's really good. So
yeah, me too. I'm really excited, to be honest. I was actually really excited anyways, just because I love like karate and all like just like martial arts films. So
hey, Bullseye Bob said he loved it, and he's the kung fu movie guy.
Yep.
So.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm hyped. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes too.
Jesus Christ.
You're like, oh my
I want to be in that theater till midnight. God, fuck. I mean, and here's what's going to happen. If it's a good movie, then I'll get home. I'll be fucking wired, and I won't go to sleep till like 3.
Right.
And it's going to mess up my whole goddamn weekend schedule because I'll oversleep tomorrow.
Oh, wow. You saw it at the drive-in theater, Cerebro? Damn, that was sick.
Great. Shitty audio.
He said it was all right. Cerebro didn't like it that much. He said it was all right. Well, I'm still excited to see
Verno's a little bit of a hater. I don't know if you're aware of it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that he drank the haterade.
No, he doesn't. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, though. Let's see. Do you anything else, or do you want to get into the rating, brother?
I'm down for the rating. See, I just want to know why Mark is still fucking awake. That's all I want to know is why is Mark still fucking awake?
Hey, Jesus. Bro, he came to see hang with us, bro.
Mark, I feel like you are living the Ray Peterson life right now. You're just like, bro, like it's just. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, you never love him the first time you see him, huh? That's something. I can be that way sometimes, where it takes me the second watch, especially in the theater. I feel like sometimes you miss something. I don't know. I love to just digest movies at home, to be honest, but I love seeing them at the theaters. I love a lot of stuff, and then sometimes then I start sitting on it, and then I like it a little less, and then maybe I'll go back and watch it, and then I'll like it more, or I'll like it less. I don't know. It's always different.
I feel yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get into the rating. If y'all seen the Burbs, which I'm sure some of you obviously have had to, throw your rating down below. 1 to 5 slips, yo. Robbie, what you gonna give it, my man?
I was thinking about this. First of all, I am making a concerted effort to be a little bit more level this year for Horror Fest. Okay. Mm-hmm. Last year, I feel like we were just giving 5s out like crazy.
Okay.
Last night, I didn't even give the first Hellraiser a 5 because it's got some issues.
Right.
This movie ain't got no issues. This movie is exactly what it sets out to be.
Yeah.
Every single person in this movie delivers a maximum effort performance. Every single person. The music by Jerry Goldsmith is amazing. The editing, the cinematography, the use of the backlot. It's just filmed in this one cul-de-sac, the entire movie, but it never feels claustrophobic or boxed in, right? Yeah. Even Sandlot had to jump out a little bit from that one street, right?
Right.
This movie is impeccable. It's perfectly paced. It's incredibly funny. It's got elements of horror that are scary for kids, but not too scary, right? It's a good, solid family film that's also a dark comedy. I love it. This is going to be my first 5 ya digs in Horror Fest this year.
Nice.
5 ya digs for the Burbs. I fucking love that movie. I would dare to say that it is Joe Dante's. Joe Dante has a lot of 5 ya dig movies for me, and this is one of them. I think it's as good as Gremlins and The Howling. I love this fucking movie.
Yeah,
five.
It's dude. It's funny that like his stuff that's in the middle is like his best, where because if you see that he definitely can do the comedy by itself and he can do the horror by itself, but when he like mixes them together, he just does wonders, man. And his movies seem flawless. Like Gremlins, just straight up cult.
One and two. Yeah.
1 and 2. Oh my god, I adore 2. But the Burbs is just one. Like obviously everyone knows Gremlins 1 and 2, but I would never hear anyone talking about this growing up, and it was just always one of my all-time favorites. It just the atmosphere, the music, the freaking star-studded cast, the script, the jokes, the way everything plays out is just perfect. It is so much fun because I'm a big fan of Matinee, but this might be beside, because Gremlins is definitely like Joe Dante's best work, but this is right up there. I'd say the top 3, like those 3 movies, dude. It'd probably go Gremlins, The Burbs, and then Gremlins 2, if anything. You know what I mean?
I would probably put The Howling in between Gremlins and The Burbs.
Yeah.
And we also got to mention this.
Yeah, I love
it's the Joe Dante film. So
Yeah.
there's also Joe Picardo and Dick Miller in the film.
Oh, yeah.
As the garbage man. That's a fun bit, too. Where they're like, and Bruce Dern's like, because Dick Miller's like, who's going to pick up all this? And he goes, "You're the garbage man."
Yeah, you do it.
And if you notice in the rest of the movie,
I forget that.
And if you keep watching the movie, if you notice, it's subtle, but it's there. That pile of trash stays there the entire movie.
Yeah, the entire time. Oh my god, I love that. He's like, what do we pay your taxes for, buddy? If you ain't picking up my trash, He's just in there digging, and then they think like Art is coming to like say, he's like, dude, come on, get your buddy out of here, and then he just dives into, like, they just go full in, and he's like, oh my god. And then not Dick, the other one, I forgot.
Picardo. Robert Picardo.
He's like he has his right, like every other American, to go through the track once it has hit that curve, and he's like, shut up, just shut up.
See, don't you know, we were culturally and politically divided even in 1989. We were just nicer about it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of craziness in the chat. Joram is right on the money. I don't understand what the fuck Travis is saying about Ernest Scared Stupid is better. He needs to get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah. I like Ernest Scared Stupid, but no way.
That must be a Canadian thing. I don't know.
As a kid, he liked it. Watch him now, brother. You gonna figure out the Burbs is the best. But yeah, bro, I'm gonna definitely, I gotta give it there with you, bro. I'm giving it 5 slips, no doubt. Got the slip on it too. That's a 5-star slip cover. I love it, man. It's one that I've never gotten sick of. It's one, like, if I was sick or something, I just throw that on. You know what I'm saying? It's just to like fall asleep to. It is so good. I love everything about it. Like I was saying, the atmosphere, the music, the cast, just the jokes, the characters are just so great. I love it, man. It's so much fun. And Joe, like when I finally found out it was Joe Dante, I was like, that makes sense. It really does make sense, because he does wonders behind the camera. I feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves, because he is a really fantastic director, and he just he has good. I always feel like he has good scripts, like the way they talk and stuff. That's a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell just by hearing interviews with him that he's a witty, snappy kind of guy.
He is. Yeah.
So
he's one of my favorites out of some of the Masters of Horror guys. I mean, dude, he did Gremlins. I mean,
what's crazy is that, like, out of all the directors that, I don't mean to be insulting, but muggles know, like people that are not as into film and filmmaking as we are, like. Mm-hmm. People know they're Steven Spielberg's, people know they're George Lucas's, and Joe Dante is one of them. And it's like, it's crazy to me that he's not the name that's remembered either. Like, it's just Gremlins. And like, here's the thing though, a lot of his movies don't do well at first, but then, like, find me a person who doesn't like Small Soldiers. Most people that watch that movie like that movie, right? Like they gain following. And I'm serious as shit. Looney Tunes Back in Action is awesome. Like Matinee, bruh. And he can make gnarly horror films, and he's the only master of horror, in my opinion, that did that. Every one that he did for Masters of Horror, both of them were solid.
Yeah.
Like Screwfly Solution and Homecoming were both solid. Like usually with them, like Family is not good by John Landis, like Dear Woman is. Pro-Life by John Carpenter is not as good as Cigarette Burns.
Yeah.
But Screwfly Solution is really freaking good.
I like Pro-Life, but it's not as good as Cigarette Burns.
No. It's not as good as
Cigarette Burns is like masterpiece.
It's one of Carpenter's best, actually.
Yeah. But dude, 5 All Day. It is such a good film. If you have not seen The Burbs and you're chilling here, man, go rent that up on Amazon right now. Like seriously, it is so good. And that I guess concludes the review for The Burbs. You got any show and tell this week, my brother?
I do.
I haven't really been getting anything, but since I didn't do anything the last couple weeks, I got a couple.
Yeah, I got a couple things. Let me show you. First of all, I picked this up, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, because it was on sale. It's on my wish list, and I had a little bit of extra money that week, and so I picked this up. This is a Hammer horror film with Peter Cushing, but it's also a kung fu film.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to dig into that. I got this.
Oh, nice.
Got my NECA Chucky figure.
Dude, I love that figure so much. I got him right here.
Hell yeah. Nice. I got these two things. They're gifts from J Strick. J Strick gave me these, but I finally got a Jason Voorhees.
Nice.
Because
I got that signed by Kane Hodder.
Nice. My other Friday 13th pop is the Roy. It is Roy, right?
Roy, yeah, with the blue.
I have Roy, but now I have Jason. So that's cool. He also gave me the Creep, the Walmart glow in the dark exclusive.
Sick, dude. I want that Walmart one. I got this from Common.
And then I picked this up, but Dark Horse has been releasing these EC archive editions, but now in paperback. They've always been in hardcovers, but they're really expensive. So for $20, this was the first 6 issues of Tales from the Crypt. And I got this one, and they just released the first volume of Haunt of Fear, or Vault of Horror, actually.
Yeah.
They are beautifully recolored, actually, with the original intent of the colorist taken into consideration.
Oh, really?
They're so fun. If you've never read these books, because I used to read the Gladstone reprints back in the 90s when I was like a preteen. Dude, I fucking love it. They even have some of the ads in there. Like, this is a really beautiful, cheap way to get these. I'm excited to get every single one of them. And I love this stuff. So I'm nice. It's nice to have a cheap, affordable paperback version of these. And if you notice, it's bigger than the average comic. So I freaking love it. So that's what I got for show and tell tonight. Dylan's grabbing his stuff. But those are still available right now. You can get them at your local comic shop. You can get them on Amazon and other booksellers, wherever you want to look. These are some of the best things. And what I have started this new thing where every night before bed, I'll read one of the stories. Like, not one of the issues, but just one of the stories. And they're all really freaking good. That's the golden age of horror in comics.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what inspired a lot of actors and directors and writers. It's like Stephen King and George Romero, you know. So that was all you had, my man, I think.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, my mom came in for a second. So I just got this the other day. Look, I haven't opened it yet, but the Kino Lorber, Scarpad recommended this one to me. I think he said this is what kind of influenced a lot of horror movies. Maybe the Will Smith movie, the zombie one. What is that called? Last Man. Am I right?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
You got Last Man.
I'm thinking that because I got Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, that's a good. Have you read the Elvira Meets Vincent Price yet?
No.
Bro, you got to read that book. It's so freaking good.
Really?
And yeah, Elvira, that's like her favorite horror movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I'd never
solid ass
seen
movie.
this. Oh,
I
you
think
like,
that's so they remade that. So that's a Richard Matheson story, if I remember correctly, right? I think it's
who?
Richard Matheson.
Yeah, yep. Oh,
Okay.
is that based on the novel I Am Legend by Richard
By the
Matheson?
way, I know his son. I had him on the show, Chris Matheson, co-creator Bill and Ted. But they did 3 movies of his story, and so that was the first one. Then they did the Omega Man with Charlton Heston, and then they did I Am Legend. That's the best one. That movie's fucking great. Was it cheap?
What?
Was it cheap?
What was?
The movie, Last Man on Earth.
yeah. It was cheap. Thanks, Mom. It was like $14. So
Nice.
yeah, it was cheap for Kino Lorber too, because usually they're a little bit expensive. But it was $14. That's why I ended up, because I was like, oh, dude, for that, because I never seen it, so I was a little wary. But Vincent Price, man, I had to check it out, and it looks good. It looks really interesting. So I'm definitely excited to check it out. But yeah, Scarpad, thanks for that. Freaking,
That's
thanks
a great
for
movie, man. You're gonna love it.
I want to check. Yeah, I've never seen it. Also got, because I love the original Scream Factory's The Return to Salem's Lot. I was watching some of it, dude. It had some cool practical effects, bro. It had some cool like monster stuff. I really enjoyed that. It's definitely not as good as the original, but I had some fun with this, to be honest. And I can't wait to rewatch it again. I got Scream Factory's The Borrower. This is I think the second movie John McNaughton, who directed Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, did. I have not got to watch all this. I threw some of it on, and it seemed interesting. It has it's like this alien kind of like gets like sent to Earth, and he ends up like borrowing like stealing someone's body and shit. It's weird, man. It's weird. But I can't wait to watch it again. I only got to watch like the first half hour. A lot of people say it's like really wacky and crazy. So, it wasn't that. I think it was like 17 or 18. So I was like, fuck it, I'll check it out. And this was really cheap. Freaking Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat. And this was actually really cool. I didn't get to watch the ending because it's like every time I try to throw something on, something comes up and I gotta stop. But Bruce Campbell is in this, and this is a cool one where it's like these vampires have their own like little town. It kind of like it feels like Western, and like they do some flashbacks because the like head vampire, he's just been around forever. But they have this like little town, and they're like living on no, that's freaking Salem. Return to Salem's Lot, where they're sucking on cow's blood. But this is like a vampire city or like little town, and it feels like a little Western town, and everybody knows everybody. And these vampires are like wearing 100-proof SPF sunblock out in the sunlight and stuff. It has some quirky stuff going for it. But I really liked it. Bruce Campbell actually plays like this, like really like that's Bruce Campbell. It's kind of hard to see, but he plays this really goofy, kind of quacky guy in the movie, and I really enjoyed it. I guess here I'll read the synopsis. The road to purgatory is paved with good intentions, and Count Murderlock wouldn't have it any other way. He's seeking atonement for centuries of human carnage, which is why he instructed Purgatory's vampires residents to slather on SPF 100-proof sunblock, pursue daytime activities, and drink only synthetic blood. That's another thing. They're like drinking synthetic blood. But vampires don't agree with Murderlock. They want the real thing, and if that means wooden bullets flying in a vampire civil war, so be it. This wild horror comedy also stars Bruce Campbell, Maxwell Caulfield, Emmett Walsh, and John Ireland. It seemed pretty fun though. I'm loving these Vestron releases, to be honest, and it was like $12, I think. Vestron's been putting out really great releases, and they have some good commentaries behind the scenes. And they've been pretty cheap. Like, so the older ones are more expensive, but the new ones they've been putting out have been like I still haven't got Little Monsters, but that's been going from like $7 to $10 for months.
Yeah, I have that one. I got it super
Yeah,
cheap. Count Von
no,
Strange says that, yeah, there's a new 1288 price point. That's
dude,
awesome.
it's so good. I got the Wraith with Charlie Sheen. That's another great one, a great release. I'm loving what they're doing. I honestly cannot wait for the next one. I love Vestron. I was trying to collect all their stuff. So bummed because one of them, Maximum Overdrive, didn't come with the slips. So I have all the slips for all of them except that. But I have still maybe like 10 of them that I need, of the older ones.
I've been wanting to get Blood Diner for sure.
Oh, I love Blood Diner. Oh my God, that's such a good one. Yeah, I tried to get like the big ones that I like loved, like Blood Diner, Waxwork, 1 and 2.
We get the
Chopping
Wishmaster
Mall.
collection, right?
I don't have that one yet. Because I own 1 and 2 on DVD, and I was like, so I didn't get it right away, but I need that one bad.
They have Warlock
that's
too,
my
right?
next one. Huh?
They have Warlock too, don't they?
Yeah, they have the Warlock set.
Yeah, both of those are on my Amazon list.
I gotta get Warlock. I never was big on it, but I want to rewatch them. But Wishmaster, I freaking love, so I gotta do that. Oh yeah, Campbell plays like Van Helsing. Yeah, you're right. So I watched it, but I didn't get to watch all of it, so I was missing a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's what I got for show and tell.
Nice,
dude, awesome show. Next week, next Friday, Robbie will be reviewing Fright Night, the original Fright Night, and the day after, Saturday, I will be reviewing the original Fright Night Part 2, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, freaking OG director right there, the guy who did freaking Halloween 3. Dude, one of my favorite directors. I love Tommy Lee, man. He's the guy who basically created the look of the Michael Myers mask. John Carpenter.
Don't forget that he's also one of the trio of the John Carpenter band who did the awesome music video for Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep. Oh, dude, I love Tommy Lee Wallace. He also did the sequel to Vampires. Even I've never seen it, but Vampires Los Muertos or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I am definitely excited about reviewing those, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. Dude, Horror Fest is about to be sick as hell. What you got going on this week, though, my brother?
Lots of fun stuff. In fact, we had a lot of fun stuff this last week. So if you missed out on these live streams, you got to check them out. I had Anna Mia on the show. Mia is a fantastic cosplayer. She's been doing it since back in the early days of cosplay and like the new wave.
Yeah.
She just did a campaign on Indiegogo for a Vampirilla magazine cover that was awesome. She was super cool. So check out that if you missed it. I had Jimmy Palmiotti on the channel on Thursday. That was a great conversation with a veteran in this industry. So check that out on the replay if you missed it. What else? We did Comics Revisited, Wonder Woman New 52 by Brian Azzarello. It is now the 10-year anniversary of the launch of the New 52. So we didn't even mean to time that. We had some serendipity, Dylan, like we usually have here. Yeah. We had the Hellraiser review last night. That was super, super fun. But coming up tomorrow night, Rock and Robbie Live. Very excited to bring that back after a little bit of a hiatus. Monday night, we have Gavin Smith on the channel. He is a comic book artist. He did work on Accelerators, on Dead Legends. Not Dead Legends. It is Dead Legends. Something like that. But he's also the artist on the upcoming Star Trek The Mirror War series. So that's super freaking cool. Today, my video with Jim Mint, our top 10 comic books of the week, that dropped over at Jim Mint Collectibles. So go check that out and throw a station out in the comments. And then we have, next week, Fright Night and Fright Night 2. Horror Fest, y'all. Shit ain't even started yet. And we've already covered 11 movies in Horror Fest. So, yeah.
Right. That's crazy, bro. I can't wait to hear what you said about the last 3 or 4 movies, or at least the last 2.
My favorite thing about the Hellraiser review is that once you get past the first 2, on almost each and every one, there would be a moment where someone would be like, I love this movie.
Yeah.
And then someone would be like, I fucking hate this movie.
Right.
Like that kept going on. Like Brooks gave Hellraiser 3 a 1.5, bro.
Did he?
And J Strick gave one of the movies a 0.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can't wait.
My lowest was 1, or actually a 0.5. I changed it and went 0.5. I
Really?
bet you can figure out which one we all really hated the most.
Yeah. I'm guessing it was the first one without Doug Bradley.
Yep. Number 9.
Revelations was
Revelations.
the most recent one.
No, Judgment's the most recent.
Judgment, yes, I'm sorry. Revelations was the shittiest. Judgment is still shitty though too.
But it's got a lot of cool stuff in it.
It does. It's like it feels.
You should check it out on the replay, man. We missed you last night.
Will.
We hope to see you next week.
Yeah, dude.
We have Manny next week. If he remembers, Manny's supposed to be here for Fright Night 2. So Fright Night 1, I should say.
Yeah. It's Horror Fest year round on Dylan's channel. Love it. Yeah, it is. But
yeah, but there's a whole lot more that gets covered in a 2-month span between the two of us.
Yeah, definitely. Fest. It's dude, I love it, man. I've been just going ham. But Horror Fest is here, man. I just love this time of year. I love it this time of year.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so much fun. Like literally, the funny thing about always the coincidence is that with the dates. So I'm watching Halloween, the Rob Zombie one, and I'm going on Instagram, and I look at, I'm like hanging out with my friend, and I was like, literally, I look at her, and I'm like, dude, I was like, it's like the anniversary for the original Halloween by Rob Zombie, not the first one, not the original, the Rob Zombie remake, and because we were watching Halloween 2, the second one he did, and I was like, that's so crazy, like it's the freaking, you know, I just love how that lines up sometimes. What are the chances? You know what I mean? It's funny.
Well, I noticed this last night. I didn't even mention it, but the anniversary for Hellraiser's release is like next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, this shit just keeps happening.
I know, man.
We're meant to do this. Horror Fest is meant to be. The universe needs it. Everybody jump in. Everybody let everybody know that Horror Fest is the shit. We have a great lineup, yo.
Dude, we really do. Go check it out. I know Robbie's got it posted everywhere, so check it out. And like I was saying, if anyone wants to jump on, if there's a show, because Link was supposed to join, but he had his son a little bit longer. So Link, check out that list, man. Let me know if there's something else you're interested in coming and hanging out for. Yeah, so next week, Fright Night, the original, and Fright Night Part 2, the original. You guys got to do your homework. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Fable, Joram, 62, Two Gun, my boy Link, Compound Strange, TM, Slots was in here. Did I say Two Gun? I think I did. Mark Brasington was up in here. Cerebro, Brother Joe. Chaos stopped in for a bit. Yeah, I want to get Chaos on here too one day. Tomorrow. Let's see. Yep. If I missed anyone, my bad.
Bueller was in here.
It wasn't up. His stuff must have passed, but yeah, Bueller was up in here. It's good to see him, man. I know my man's been doing big things, slaying it out there, as all you guys have been. I heard the monthly comic show got nominated too, bro.
Yeah, bro. We got a CBC award nomination for that, bro.
Wow.
Everybody go vote for us right now at cbcawards.org.
That's crazy.
They also just launched a People's Choice nomination today, so vote for that as well.
Yeah.
Vote for Dylan.
You're too kind. Yeah, station of YouTube, TM. And yeah, dude, definitely glad I'm feeling better too, man. But dude, yeah, we should have the Horror Fest t-shirts, bro.
We should, actually.
We should have done that. Would have been good, bro. Oh man. But yeah, dude, so thanks everyone as always for hanging out, dude. We will see you next week. You guys are all the best. And remember, do your homework. Fright Night 1 and 2. I'll see you guys then. Peace out, yo.